What is up, guys? Kempo back here again, back in the office this morning. Thought I'll continue on with more of a comic series comic series I'm doing. I thought this time I'll just do what I'm reading this particular week. I've only got 3 comics this week, and I thought I'll do more of a DC sort of run. I checked out the new Dawn of DC titles, and I went to my local comic book shop and saw what they had. And in stock they had the Green Arrow, Dawn of DC. They had the Lost Superman storyline, which I don't think is part of the Dawn of DC, but nonetheless, that's what I'm reading this week. And the Night Terrors, Dawn of DC. And I've never been alright. I've always loved DC, but I was always a Marvel man because I didn't grow up with comics and I grew up in the movies. I always loved Batman. I always liked Superman, liked Wonder Woman, but I never connected with them as much because I didn't read the comics. There wasn't as many good movies with them out. And I thought, you know what, I'm gonna try to get into it. I do, on YouTube, my favorite series of comics I've watched on YouTube is the Injustice series. I thought that was fantastic. I love the idea of the evil Superman and everything. And it felt more of a grounded story, which is what I kind of like as well. But I thought I'll start getting into new DC storylines. Obviously still catching up on YouTube with all the other ones and everything. So the Dawn of DC now follows after the latest Infinite Crisis event. And so I've got a computer up here, and it has all the latest titles. You've got the Action Comics, Catwoman, John Kent series, Adventures of John Kent. You got the Nightwing series, Superboy, Green Arrow, which I've got. I want to get the Shazams. Always liked Shazam as a character. I want to get Green Lantern. So there's a bunch of ones I'm seeking to get and see if I really get into it. And so far, I'm not disappointed at all. I'll start with the first one I read. I read the Night Terrors one, which is a bit of a short story because it was part of the Free Comics Day. And pretty much, okay, the front cover, I really like the picture of it. Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman. Real gave off a Batman vs. Superman vibe from the movie. The feel of the pages feels really just the basic standard comic book stuff, but the artwork is what I want to talk about. The artwork, the actual layout of each comic book is like each page. It flows into the other one, and it's got a real nightmarish sort of feel because it's essentially about Batman and about Damian Wayne and how he's having these nightmares about nightmares he usually controls because he usually says like I'm mentally powerful and all this and stuff. Like pages like this, like geez. When I was reading it, I was like, far out, there's a lot going on here. There's a lot going on in this bloody thing. But it's just him trying to fight this nightmare off, which he's struggling to control, struggling to get a grip of reality, and eventually gets woken up. It's a bit of a horror sort of factors in it. Like, you see, that picture freaked me out. He wakes up, Batman's like, look, we just stopped Firefly, and let's end it there. And it ends off with a luminous picture of the end, someone watching them. So the Night Terrors, it seems like it's got a real focus on like PTSD. This villain's going to be attacking all the heroes psychologically, which is, I think that's pretty bloody cool. So I want to see this one, where this one goes. But out of the 3 I'm reading, or out of the 3 I've read this week, it's not the favorite, but I'm certainly intrigued about the idea of it. The next one I read was the Lost Superman one. I don't think this is part of the Dawn of DC, but nonetheless, I actually do want to finish reading this one because this storyline, because I've always wanted to see what made Superman so interesting. And I always thought he can only be interesting unless he's a bad guy. But while I was watching this one, I'll start off with the front cover was interesting. It's just Lost Superman. I was like, okay, I wonder what this is about. Surely can't get lost in space. This is a guy who can travel through time pretty much in certain story arcs. So pretty much just starts off with like, okay, standard Superman saves a woman from a car crash. It's got Lois Lane figuring out what the hell's going on. with some money, some scandal and that. Then it leads on to Superman's left to go on a routine mission, and he comes back and he's standing there looking all weird, like only after a couple hours. And then she's a bit confused. Lois Lane's a bit confused, saying, "What the fuck? What's wrong?" And it goes back a few hours, and it shows Superman's side pretty much going through the mission of the day. So he's with the Justice League. They find this alien tech, and it sends Superman away because he needs to go in and try to stop it because he's the only one who can stop it. Yeah, it sends him away. And after a couple hours, he's back with Lois. But for him, he says it's been 20 years. And that's where I guess the rest of the storyline will show us. But I thought this was really cool. It feels really classic Justice League to, like, if I had read all the stuff I've seen online, all the YouTube videos I've seen, it's like classic Justice League. Okay, Lee's with Lois, needs to go off to a routine mission. He's with the Justice League. They're trying to stop some usual crisis, like on Earth. They're stopping a few nations from destroying each other. Classic Justice League shit. And then it all turns sideways. That's what I think. The feel of the papers, like the Night Terrors one, classic comic feel. Design of the characters, real classic comic book sort of look, but I really enjoy the quirkiness. The way that each character chats to each other, the real like seriousness, but you got the funny Green Arrow talk and Barry talk. I enjoyed this, and I actually am very intrigued to see where this goes. I do actually recommend this one because this is now one I'm like, oh, I actually kind of want to know what happens to Superman as a good guy. So I'm going to keep a lookout for the Lost Superman storylines. And I would say the Lost Superman one was my favorite storyline of the week, but the Green Arrow overall was my favorite. Like the feel of the material of the paper, I actually really enjoy. Like, just, I don't know, I'm weird like that. I like when you can feel the investment when you actually feel the design and the material of the paper. So at first I was like, oh yeah, Green Arrow. I watched the show and seen a few storylines online. I'm expecting from the comic side a bit of like quirkiness, a bit of like smart mouth, but it opens up straight away with him being lost. And because I've only seen bits of the Infinite Crisis, that pretty much just says it catches you up if you haven't seen it, like I hadn't seen it. And it does a little quick rebound how his story. So he starts off as an arsehole, gets trapped, becomes Green Arrow, trains with bad guys, goes with the Justice League, fights otherworldly stuff, and then now he is lost out here. And then it just kind of introducing you to the Green Arrow family, like his son, Roy Harper, Black Canary, and it kind of they're just doing a routine mission to stop some bad guys in Gotham. And then you're wondering where the hell's Green Arrow, and because you find out through the Infinite Crisis he was taken on his way home. So it shows. Alright, I won't get into the story too much, but overall the story of it actually quite good. The pictures, the design of each character was like classic comic style, but a little bit more detailed. The storyline, I'm very keen to see what happens. It seems like very classic Green Arrow sort of feel. Highly recommend it if you like Green Arrow, or if you want to try to get into Green Arrow like I am. I even like this particular design he has there. He's on this otherworldly place. Yeah, so I thought it was pretty cool. I want to see how this goes because at the end it's a little bit of a cliffhanger. I was saying they can never go home, but they'll find a way home. But yes, if you haven't checked this out, check it out when you want to, probably as soon as possible, because when I go to my local comics, all the Dawn of DC ones are getting sold out really quick, just like all the other ones. But I will go check out some more. I want to see the Shazam Tide. I want to see Nightwing. I want to see the Superboy ones. I want to actually get all of them. I want those ones that just like, I want to see an entire story as much as I can. So those three are the ones I've picked up this week. So the Green Arrow, Dawn of DC one, Lost Superman one, and the Night Terrors one. A very good start. I am now becoming a DC fan, and thank you guys as always watching the video. I'll check you out in the new one.